Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of virtual tastings here at Henry & Son with myself, Jill Mott. I wanted to talk today about a grape and an area for wine, respectively, that you'd never think of for world-class wine. And so I'll just jump right in because I can't wait to taste them. If you were paying any sort of attention to the music, which there's a tie-in from the music to what we're tasting, whether it's with Tannic Grips with my friend Britt, or whether it's the tastings I do by myself here, there's a tie-in with the music to what we're tasting. And the producer I'm about to speak about, Yves Leccia, he's in a Corsican polyphony band. He's been in that ensemble for decades. And polyphony is, in my opinion, it's definitely not a ethnomusicologist's definition, is like when you're creating more notes than singers. You know, you have 5 people singing, but they're creating like 7 notes. And it's one of the oldest traditions, polyphonic music in the world. And Yves Leccia is in a group called Affiletta, which Affiletta, they have more than 16,000 listeners a month on Spotify. And so, I don't know, just check it out. It just gives more dimension to what we're about to drink. I worked in Portland, Oregon, worked in artisanal, a few different times, outside of Portland, I should say, in a few different areas, small cellars, artisanal cellars at 10,000 cases. Here we're at 5,000 cases. So we're literally talking about a producer that makes hyper artisanal amounts of wine, and with such an astute attention to detail. His wines have been touted from his importer, Kermit Lynch, to others around the world as the Rolls Royce of Corsican wine, which I know you may not have experienced a lot of Corsican wine, but I would put this up against many Burgundies, Tuscan wines, amazing American wines. They just really are, if you're looking for a complex experience at not a complex price, this is a really fun way to go. So he is making, you'll see on the front there, it says Biancu Gentile. Biancu Gentile is the grape I wanted to speak about today. Took me like 3 minutes to get here, but pardon me. Such a cool grape. We see the first mention of this in like the 1820s or so it hasn't been around for like millennia, right, or centuries, but the varietal was all but extinct until Yves Leccia and 1 or 2 others started to make the varietal on its own, not blending it with Chardonnay or Vermentino or other grapes that are growing around the island. And it really is a super special wine. We don't have that much of it, and I don't know how much more we can get. This is 2015, so some people think, white wines don't age well. Corsican wines, I've never even really drank them, they don't age well. So beautiful. We're in Sardinia, we're in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea, and Corsica, we're at the northern part of the island. So Patrimonio is the name of the village that Yves has grown up in and has championed almost his whole life. We know that so many winemakers have children, and just like a lot of other like trades around the world, blacksmiths, you name it. I hope my child grows up caring about the family business. There was never a doubt that Yves Leccia was not going to make wine. And so of course he's going to champion styles of wine, but also grape varietals that are about to go extinct. Oh, it smells so good. It smells like if any of you love to burn like a beeswax candle, like it's dry, bone dry wine, but it smells like beeswax and like asparagus meets like white nectarines or something like that, and like a little bit of tangerine. Just a beautiful complex nose. A very enveloping palate. You can tell here that it's a warmer climate, and at the same time we're on schist soils, so the wine has a very kind of jagged texture that would lend itself well to like cleaning up fatty foods, and also you could drink it by itself because it's that complex. Yves does all organic, cultivation, all organic fruit and viticulture, kind of all in one there. And this is all done in stainless steel, even though leccia means oak in French and in the Corsican dialect. There's not a lick of oak in his entire cellar. So he's doing all stainless steel, allowing the fruit to kind of speak to itself. And for those wine geeks out there, this has not gone through malolactic conversion. So this is like got this beautiful minerality, very lean, even though it's a warm place and enveloping, it still has this like hyper focus because it doesn't have malolactic conversion. If you don't know what malolactic conversion is, look it up. But a very quick definition, we're turning malic green apple-like acid and we're converting it naturally, usually, to like a lactic, more yogurt-like acid. This does not have that, which is really, really fun because a lot of white wines do from this area. All right, next I'm gonna go across the world to Mexico. I'm in Baja California, so just south of California. Noel Tellez. I've partied with this guy. He's awesome. He's crazy. He's super interested in reviving not only Mexican wine, but showcasing what can be by making natural Mexican wine. Bichi is the name of his project, and Bichi means naked in a local dialect, an ancient dialect that hails from this area. And here he's been making natural wines from organic and biodynamic fruit for the last like 4+ years. This is his 2018 Flama Roja, which is super fun. And what's crazy about it is Noel is taking Cabernet, Tempranillo, and Nebbiolo from his home vineyard, which right there, that's just like, let's take all the noble vinifera varietals and put them into one wine. That in and of itself is awesome. But there was a time where people were uprooting a lot of weird varietals and they were planting, Cabernet and Nebbiolo in hopes that they would take off. And that's not the exception here. That obviously happened. But what Noel is doing that in a natural vein. He's making this in concrete, amphora-shaped, but concrete vessels, fermenting it, and then aging it in a combination of old wood and a little bit of stainless steel to render this very rare and super fun 2018 Flama Roja from Baja California. Oh, it's so cool. It's like, at first it smells kind of smoky and almost like if you love mezcal, this is the wine for you. If you love scotch, this is the wine for you. But then it's got this underlying fruit of like if cranberries were deeper and dried. It's just so cool to smell. All dry farmed fruit, so you can kind of smell too this like intensity and this herbaceousness, like marjoram and like dried thyme, something like that, summer savory. Oh, power, like, I wish I had the words right now because I want to say, like, I want to start talking about Mexican culture, and I know that's like hyper. There's so many different cultures that are happening in and around that country, and the fact that he's taking what is possible viticulturally and turning it into a glass of incredibly intense and austere and amazing and honest wine is just music to my soul. So we'll start with, we started the virtual tasting with some polyphony from Corsica. We'll end it with something, we'll end it with something cool and from Baja California. From my glass to yours, enjoy the wines. They're very rare and they're very fun. Be safe.